I just discovered something shocking about Claude Code. When I pitted it against Claude 3.7 Sonnet in Cursor to add dark mode to my app, one clearly outperformed the other, but at what cost? I'm Fernando, ex-Apple engineer, and what I learned after 12 years at Apple made me question everything about AI coding tools. One of these solutions blew me away, but your wallet may not thank you. Want to see which one actually delivered working code faster? I'll show you the real-world tests that actually changed my mind. Claude 3.7 Sonnet has just released along with Claude Code, and people on X are going bananas over it. So the new model will basically allow us to do a new thing called the thinking mode. The longer that this model thinks is the better the performance that this actually does. And this is actually the most world-class model right now as far as whatever you're thinking about as far as DeepSeek R1 compared to OpenAI O3 Mini High, O1 as well. And so far the initial take from what everyone's saying is that, yeah, this thing is pretty tough. Claude Code is a new thing and it will actually interact with your code base all through the command line, which is really amazing. I just wanted to give you a heads up on the cost. So 3.7 Sonnet, the input is $3 per million tokens, and then the output's $15 per million tokens. So that adds up pretty fast. So this is going to be really, really cool because we're going to play around with some code, come up with some ideas. And then in the new user interface with Cursor, they actually have this new dropdown where it kind of unifies the chat as one type of thing. So the agent and the chat are kind of all combined. In order for us to get set up with the new coding thing, what we have to do is actually go to their documentation here. Because this is currently a preview edition, go and run this command as soon as you possibly can. Once you do that, because it's possible that they could just have so much demand that they shut that specific research tool down and it's only available for those who've already established the workflow. So I just wanted to give you the heads up. So it should look something like this once we get it installed. Keep in mind, when we're gonna ask questions for a repo, it's gonna use up those tokens, so that price that I was showing you, which was like $3 per million tokens, and then that $15 cost for the output. To do one type of command to take a look at our repo could cost, like 30 cents to $1. So I haven't set it up yet on this repo, and I'm gonna go to cursor space dot. So this will actually just open up Cursor for us. Once we do that npm command to install, which was right here, because I'll show you. I'll just, you just copy, paste it, go into terminal, paste it in. So I'm just going to type in Cloud. The only reason why I would use Cursor, it may actually be cheaper to use Cursor than it would be to use this Claude Code thing. I'm going to do /init. And so it's basically just scanning through my repo and trying to really understand what's going on. Since this is just a front end app, it's going to take a pretty fast time because I don't really have a lot of complexity. It even found my Cursor rules where I'm actually telling it that it's a senior front-end developer and stuff, which is pretty interesting. It even looked through the config files. And so we can ask questions about the code base. So we can do /, and then these are the / commands that you can run in Claude Code. So you can clear out the history, is what I was telling you about. You do compact, so that'll shrink the history down into a smaller form factor. We can do config to open the configuration panel to reset things up again. And we can do cost. So /cost will tell us, see, like for this code base, it cost us basically almost 50 cents, like 41 cents to run. After 5, 10, 100 requests, that's going to add up pretty fast. So in my app, let's go ahead and run it. I don't have a dark mode or light mode. So it kind of sucks, right? I can just say, what I'm expecting it to do is to show me, tell me something about a theme provider. Yeah, there it is. See, and then kind of understand where the code is and what to do. I'm really curious to see what the cost is. This is really cool. Actually, this is kind of really refreshing because previously when you would ask these models, they wouldn't have an understanding of the structure of your app. So I'm already pretty blown away with this Claude Code thing. And it says now I've got to understand the project. Let's set up a theme provider using Next themes. Let's update the Tailwind. This is exactly what you would do with Shad, because it knows I have a Shadcn configuration. Update the Tailwind config to dark mode, add a theme toggle switch to a sidebar component, and then so it actually wants to have me do this type of things. And then I'm going to ask the same question in Cursor and just see what it does. So I'm going to ask Claude Sonnet and then hit this little ask button here. So if you hit the command key and then hit enter, it searches your code base, and you can see now it shows the code base thing at the top. It should be following the same steps because I'm literally using the same model. But the only difference here is we're using Cursor as the in the asking mode and seeing what steps is it going to follow? Is it going to follow the same steps as the Claude Coder? The thing that's not really clear to me right now is, does each read and each follow-up request use a fast request or not. You know, which one is cheaper, right? Is it better to do one or the other? So their agent mode is really, really good. As you can see, it's been able to kind of go through all these files and like, you know, try to get a lot of understanding. So it checks the UI components, checks the app components. It's actually telling us a lot more than the actual Claude Coder did, which is really awesome. And then it's even telling us to put the required packages. Let's go back real quick here. I haven't used this workflow, so it's still new to me. I already know that Cursor will probably get the job done, but let's just try on this side and just see how much it's going to cost us. So I'm going to go ahead and says bun add next themes. Would you like to proceed? Yes, please. So it's basically going through step by step and kind of making the edits for us. I like this. Okay, so it's yes, I want to make the edits, basically adding the dark theme mode, but we can say yes and don't ask again for this session. So I'm going to just go ahead and do that. And theoretically, it should just kind of keep going, boom, 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 boom. Now let's add the theme toggle to sidebar component. It's basically cooking now. So now it's even wanting us to run the bun dev command. So I already have it running here, I think. So I'm just gonna run bun dev. Nice. See? That's cool. That's awesome. So yeah, I basically now have a light mode and dark mode for my app. So I'm gonna run /cost next. How much did it cost us to actually implement this actual code? So /cost. So far, just to add that feature cost us 44 cents. To be honest, I was expecting Cursor to kind of nail it, but here's the caveat. This model just dropped today. And so the Cursor team still needs to actually update and fine tune the way this model will work for their actual app. Whenever you drop a new model in, sometimes it does better without even doing anything. But a lot of times there'll be these fine refinements that need to be done. So we use the command line app, and it was able to like nail it. So what's the verdict? While I expected Cursor to just crush it, Claude Code in the terminal actually surprised me with how well it did adding dark mode to my app. Keep in mind, Claude 3.7 Sonnet just dropped, so Cursor's team has not had time to optimize for it yet. So cost-wise, we're looking at about 44 cents to implement this feature with Claude Code, and that actually adds up fast when you're building complex apps. So check this out. At $3 per million tokens input and $15 per million tokens output, you want to be strategic on how you use it. So for now, I'm impressed with Claude Code's ability to just understand my repo structure and implement its working features. Is it worth the cost? That actually depends on your own workflow. So if you're working on high value projects where saving dev time actually matters more than token costs, Claude Code might actually be your new best friend. If you found this helpful, hit subscribe for more AI coding tool comparisons. I'm Fernando, and I'll be testing these models as they evolve to help you code smarter, not harder. Peace out, y'all.